The White House basically left you out to dry after
Yeah.
the president made a public statement claiming he never had sexual relations with
Yeah.
you. How did you feel having to watch that and hear him say that?
You know, in the moment, I was split because I felt so guilty. I felt so guilty for everything. I felt like this having become public was my fault.
Why?
That because I had confided in Linda. And so if I had not confided in her, I felt as if this wouldn't have become public. And so there was an enormous amount of guilt. I didn't want him to lose his job. So there was a part of me that felt good, deny it. This is what you should do, that sort of a thing. And then there was a part of me that was so humiliated, and to kind of have the most powerful man in the world saying that, basically your damaged goods, is not something you want as a 51-year-old woman, and not something you want as a 24-year-old woman.
The White House, like you referenced earlier, tried to frame you as this unstable stalker. But what the evidence then went on to reveal was the president called you often, gave you gifts. How did you, at the end of the day, during all this, reconcile what people were saying about your relationship and then what you knew to be true and what you lived with this person?
It was gaslighting. So I think that was what I experienced on a pretty large scale. Mm-hmm. And it was devastating.
When you look back, once the news broke mm-hmm. and how everything was handled by media and the White House, how do you think it should have been handled? Have you thought about that?
Oh my gosh. I think that he should have said, I'm now thinking this through. I don't think I've answered this question before. But good question. I haven't been asked that before. So I think that the right way to handle a situation like that would have been to probably say it was, nobody's business, and to resign, or to find a way of staying in office that was not lying and not throwing a young person who was just starting out in the world under the bus. And at the same time, I'm hearing myself say that, and it's like, okay, but we're also talking about the most powerful office in the world, so I don't want to be naive either.
But